Hey, also a bit of a different video today. I'm going to be making a predator ring tray, which I'm super excited about, so let's get into it. So first of all, I just used a base of cardboard, and I just did some wire armature of sorts to help out with the teeth in the mandible area. This is the clay I used. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it outright. I had some issues with this. It still worked well enough, but it's a lot more like foam clay than I expected. So, and this is just my sketch. But, so yeah, I started working with that clay and stuff. I noticed very quickly that it was a lot like foam clay, and that it was kind of hard to, like, get a steady structure with the clay, like to have it stand and stuff on its own. And I did have some issues blending it, but I ended up using quite a bit of water towards the end, and that actually helped a lot more than I thought it would. Normally I wouldn't use that much water on a clay project, but like I said, I actually used a lot more than I expected with this, and just trying to smooth everything out. But right here, I'm just starting to shape the teeth and everything, and I'll be shaping the mandibles soon after this. But you can see that, like, the teeth just kept weighing everything down and all that. It just kept bringing down the armature, and I started getting annoyed with this, and I tried to actually make an armature wire to hold the space between the mandibles, but I ended up scrapping that because it did not work. So here I'm just working on the actual base of the mandible itself on all four of them. I figured I might as well do that to just kind of use them as like little stabilizers for the teeth themselves. I also had issues with the teeth going through the wire, and then my camera died. But on to painting. It was honestly super easy, super fun. I just used some regular old acrylic paints you can get from like Walmart or somewhere like that, the Dollar Tree, like just the cheap stuff, the cream coat stuff, I believe is what it was. So that was honestly the easiest part of the project. And paint, actually, I gave it a day for the clay itself to dry and set. But clay did paint, acrylic paint laid down really well on this. I didn't actually have any issues. For the most part. I had one issue of the paint just coming up off of the clay completely when I was trying to, like, smudge some stuff. And you might see that in the video. I'm not sure if you will or not. But that did happen. So, just a warning there. But I think it's because, again, I made it a little too wet with the paint and everything, and so it just kind of brought everything off and up off the clay. And then the inside of the mouth, I just did various pinks and reds. I used blue instead of black, blue and brown to darken the pink and reds, and then I just used the base tan color. I know I more based this off of the Predators in Predator Killer of Killers, like that one, like the Grindel King and like all of them. So they're a bit more of like a tan brown, so I decided to go with that because I actually have a lot of like tan brown colors, so it was the easiest, to be honest. And then I actually made a foam base for this, just to be on the safe side, and so it doesn't scratch anything, like, so the hardened clay doesn't scratch anything, because there was some hard surfaces, and it just kind of helped seal in the armature, and, like I said, any of the clay that, ended up getting over, and then it just helped support the bottom of the cardboard, because, again, if the cardboard would have gotten wet on the bottom after the fact, it could have jacked up the cardboard, jacked up the base and everything. And the clay that is the inside of the mouth is very, very thin, so I didn't want any water to soak through the cardboard and get into the clay and, you know, cause any mold or anything like that. So I went ahead and made this foam base. It's just some regular old millimeter craft foam rectangles that you can get from, I think, pretty much any craft store. I got mine from my local craft store, so. And then here I just hot glued the base on. Honestly, it's just good enough. That and the hot glue actually works relatively well with foam, so I decided to do that. And now for the final result.